I now have a merchandise store. You can get the Anti-Woke Shield logo on a wide variety of merchandise, including shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, hoodies, bags, backpacks, a bath mat, flip-flops. If Fido or Mittens eats their food on a mat, you can even get a mat for them with the Shield logo on it. You can get it on pillows, die-cut stickers, or you can even get it on a notebook. All this merch and more is available at my merch store. I prefer the yellow and black, but you can get it in a wide range of colors. If you like yellow logos, then this is the logo for you. Links are in the description. Use code EARLYBIRD, that's EARLYBIRD, for a discount between now and the middle of November 2022. Hello and welcome back. Yeah, I have a merch store now, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. Now, before we dive into this article, I do want to say that I said I was going to pursue talking about men's issues for the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, the next few ideas that I have, things I want to talk about in that arena, I have to do research for, and I don't have time to do research. I spent the last 5 days getting ready for work on Monday. So thank you all for stopping by. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed. You can find me on Rumble and on Twitter. If you're on either one of those, you can find me on YouTube, and we'll dive into this article here. So we're talking about America's Wokest Degree. Wharton Business School offers $118,000 per year course in diversity, equity, and inclusion.
What? What the fuck?
$118,000 a year times 4. So what you're looking at is like $472,000 just so you can be a douche. All right, yeah, just what I wanted. We got enough of those in the world. We don't need any more. I have a feeling this is going to backfire. You know what happens when you get woke? You go broke. That $118,000 per year is going to turn into $18 per year for Wharton College. The Wharton School of Business, a wing of the University of Pennsylvania and Donald Trump's alma mater, why they had to put that in there, I don't know, but whatever, is now offering the wokest degree possible by allowing students to major in diversity, equity, and inclusion, the DEI, or they should probably call it DIE for die. A year's tuition in one of Wharton's master's programs will set you back a cool $118,000. Okay, well, if it's a master's program, it's only 2 years, so that's only $236,000. But still, $236,000 to get a degree in being a douchebag. Just what we need. I mean, really, talk about wasting money on something. The program in DEI will welcome its first students in 2023. Classes on the course include business economics and discrimination and leading diversity in organizations. Just what we need. We need people to lead diversity in organizations. Because you have to have equal numbers of every different race. So whatever that is, no matter whether or not those races are equally represented in the society that you live in. According to salary.com, the average chief diversity officer salary in the United States is between $196,000 and $275,000.
What? What the fuck?
Apparently, I made a mistake becoming an artist. If I was making even half of either of these, I'd be doing all right. That's insane. Why are people spending money on this crap? We already have laws set up about this. It's illegal to discriminate in any kind of real way. You can have personal feelings all day long that you want to have, but you can't in a job, school. You can't discriminate. In housing, you can't discriminate. You're not allowed to make choices based on person's superficial qualities. In announcing the establishment of the program, Vice Dean of the school's Environmental, Social, and Governance Program, the ESG, that Hennies, I don't know, said, mobilizing business to address social problems incident to our civilization was the rallying cry of our school's founder, Joseph Wharton. Well, then he was an idiot. Now, Corrine Lowe, the assistant professor of business economics and public policy, said, I'm thrilled for students to be able to more formally pursue what is a passion for so many with a creation of the diversity, equity, and inclusion major. You're so thrilled they can waste their lives on this garbage and they can ruin society at the same time. Awesome. Way to go. While Deputy Dean Nancy Rothbart said, we are proud and delighted that Wharton will be offering these new concentrations and majors supported by the school's world-class evidence-based curriculum. We look forward to seeing what our graduates accomplish. Yes, evidence-based. You mean like how there's already, equal numbers of representation in most jobs? And how, women aren't equally represented in things like engineering because they're not interested in being engineers. But that's actual subconscious discrimination on the part of our whole civilization, encouraging women to stay away from things like engineering because, that's not what a proper woman does, is study engineering. Yeah, that's what's happening. Hannes Lowe and Rothbard are considered the key players responsible to establishing the program according to the announcement. Yeah, so that's probably one right there. That's Hannes, whatever his name is. Wharton professor Sarah Light spoke about the program in an interview with the Daily Pennsylvanian. Light said, "In order to be a business leader in this century, one needs to understand the essentials of how to run and finance a business, the operations, marketing, management, financing." Yep, that's what you need. But also to understand the social context in which one's business operates. No, your job as a business is to make profits and do it in an ethical manner. Having diversity is not a question of ethics. I know that you all think it is. I know you think it's like the number one issue that we face today in our civilization is having people being unequally represented in the workforce. But that actually has nothing to do with anything. A new Woke Masters was announced alongside a program for environmental, social, and governance factors for business. A recent list from Forbes showed that the University of Pennsylvania has the most alumni on its list of 400 wealthiest people in the world. Yeah, I have a feeling that number's going to go down because you know what happens when you go woke? You go broke. Aside from Trump, the school counts the world's wealthiest man, Elon Musk, among its graduates. Earlier this month, the Wall Street Journal reported, oh, by the way, Elon Musk, the wealthiest man, yeah, good for him. He's also a shyster. So, what can you do? Earlier this month, the Wall Street Journal reported that Wharton, along with Harvard Business School, had witnessed a steep drop-off in applications. I wonder why. Get woke, go broke. The director of admissions at the school, Blair Mannix, told the newspaper, "If the job market is hot, you do not want to leave your job to get an MBA." Job market isn't hot, though. That's the thing. We're seeing record unemployment. What are you talking about? Mannix said that applications for the past fall were down from 7,338 to 6,319, which is still higher than 2019's 5,905 applicants. Those numbers could increase in 2023, according to Wharton professor Jeremy Siegel, who told Fox Business this month that Jerome Powell's errors with the Federal Reserve could lead to a major recession. It's Jerome Powell's fault, and only his. It has nothing to do with Biden and what he's doing or anybody else in the administration calling for anything. Wharton is ranked as the number business. Why don't they have editors for this stuff? I'm assuming they're saying number 1. I don't know. It could be number 10. I don't freaking know. Wharton is ranked as the number 1 business school in the country, I think. Honestly, I don't know for sure. I'm assuming that's what they're trying to say here. According to U.S. News and World Report, yeah, it's number something according to that report. The school is more renowned for its economics, international studies, and management program rather than woke degrees. I wonder why. Ex-President Donald Trump once said of Wharton, "I took a lot of finance courses at Wharton. First, they taught you all the rules and regulations. Then they taught you that those regulations and rules are really meant to be broken." The school's $118,000 tuition breaks down as $84,000 for fees, $22,000 for room and board, and for books and supplies, and $4,000 for health insurance. The issue of wokeness infecting top colleges across the U.S. has been detailed in the country. I don't know what that is. Across the country, I'm assuming. Okay, so the issue of wokeness infecting top colleges across the U.S. has been detailed across the country, I guess, is what they're supposed to be saying. I'm not sure. In the 2018 New York Times study found that just 6% of college administrators identify as conservative. I think that tells you something right there. The country is changing because people are coming out with degrees that are going to be highly liberal. In June, Texas Governor Dan Patrick publicly called out professors for pushing ideology such as critical race theory on students. His sentiments were echoed by the CEO of the Texas Public Policy Foundation, Greg Sinellar, who told us these institutions are not really actually interested in free expression and in kids learning. They're more interested in indoctrination and pushing forward with certain ideology. Well, it's not only what the colleges want, it's what the students want. If my students, because in case you are new here, I teach college. If my students get even a whiff that I might be saying something that isn't completely progressive, then I'm in trouble. They go to my boss and they talk about how I'm evil white World War II, dictator guy. Some of the students are cool and they know. A lot of times we'll be talking one-on-one and I'll get a sense that, okay, this student, I get it. They're not like the other students. And usually these are the older students who have a wife and kids. Not always. Sometimes they just have a girlfriend or whatever. But notice how they're male. But they'll give me a hint that they're like, oh, they're not progressive. So then I'll talk to them and be like, okay, yeah, you're cool. You're not progressive. You're awesome. While in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis passed the Stop Woke Act in August, which prohibited the teaching of ideas such as critical race theory. Schools found to have breached the law were subject to having their state funding cut. In announcing the bill in December 2021, DeSantis said, "We won't allow Florida tax dollars to be spent teaching kids to hate our country or to hate each other. We also have a responsibility to ensure that parents have the means to vindicate their rights when it comes to enforcing state standards." A recent study found that just 34% of Floridians were in support of the act, according to Florida Politics. I would like to see that study and know their methodology. Yeah, it's just a article on this. It says majorities oppose Ron DeSantis-backed Stop Woke and parental rights laws. Well, I don't know what's in those laws, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the people who oppose this law don't know what they're talking about or are progressive, one of the two. So either Florida is filled with progressives, which I find hard to believe, or there's people just don't know what the law is all about. It's just like the don't say gay bill. Oh my gosh, we can't say gay, and so yeah, you can't say straight either. You're not allowed to talk about sexuality at all to little kids. What's wrong with you? You shouldn't be talking about that to little kids anyway. But with this here, I don't want my tax dollars going to teach people that I'm evil because I'm white and I'm male. That's ridiculous. If I were to teach in any other race or gender was evil just because of their race or their gender or both, everybody would like lose their minds. They'd be rioting in the streets. How dare you? But it's okay to say that white men are evil. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now with this, let's go back to the main article here I was talking about, because there are fun comments down here. Bob Blaylock. This will result in a lot of college graduates crying for relief from their college loans because their jobs flipping burgers and bagging groceries don't pay enough to pay the debt that they rightfully owe. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going straight through, like you're starting straight through with your master's degree, but if you're coming out of the industry and deciding to get a master's degree, you probably have something to fall back on. Well, if anyone could predict the value of offering a 12-month course and netting $118,000 per student would be good for business, it would be a prestigious Ivy League college, Wharton. Yep. Well, if you have no integrity, you can take this program, graduate, and make a fortune collecting consulting fees for businesses and local and state governments and schools. Of course, your degree will probably expire come January 20th, 2025. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, when we get a new president in there. Yeah, very good. We know they're stupid. Okay, thanks, Chuck R. Phillips says, no surprises here. Isn't that where Trump went? Enough said. Okay, all right. I don't know. He's obviously against Trump, which is fine. I mean, he's allowed to have his thoughts about politicians. I mean, none of them are any good, right? What sucks is that I will have to pay the student loans for the graduates. Yeah, you and me both. I've lost all respect for Wharton, Master Blaster says. Khalif Khan, that's right. There with history of art philosophy. Yeah, that's a great degree. They should just be woke underwater basket weaving. So they should call this. Omnipresent One says, more like a wart on our education system. Haha, good play on words. I do like puns, so that's pretty good. Johnny Two Thumbs says, and here's the real kicker. The American taxpayer gets to pay for that sham degree through student loan forgiveness. What a utopia liberals have created for us all. Mm-hmm. Yep. So this is so ridiculous. You're going to get people borrowing money to do this stuff, and they're allowed to do that. So I'm going to let Larry Elder play us out on this one here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you the next time.
Before the government got in the business of subsidizing college loans, you might have to go to a bank to borrow it. You go to a bank, I want to go to college XYZ. Banker goes, okay, what are you going to major in? Your answer, philosophy. What? Screenwriting. What? Archaeology. What? Says the banker. I have a sheet right here about the jobs of the future, and on there says nothing at all about people who major in philosophy or art history or archaeology. So your major is not going to provide you a job in your desired field. I'm not going to lend you the money. Then what would you do? You would rethink, recalibrate, and decide if you want to go to college, you're going to major in something where there's actually going to be a job, and that way you can get the loan.